it's Carrie at River City Pilates, and today I am talking about taking virtual classes if you have stuff going on with your knees. I know that if you have maybe some issues, and this could be just about anything, anything that gives you a little pain or discomfort or you've been dealing with for a while, it might seem a little maybe nerve-wracking to think about taking a class and exercising, moving your body, when the teacher can't be there to give you specific modifications, variations, things for your body. But what I want you to think about is that I feel like at this time, it's more important than ever to keep moving our bodies. And I'm feeling like one of the biggest benefits I'm seeing in my clients as they're having to take more virtual classes, because that's our only option, is that they are learning to adapt in their own body. They are learning to listen to their body, pay attention, more so than they would be in the studio because they have to. So I really see that as a benefit, and I just want to give you some tools so that you can start exploring, still moving, still exercising, because we need that. Our bodies need it, our minds need it, but do it safely and feel kind of empowered that you have the ability to be like, oh, I know how to modify that exercise, or I know how to do the range of motion that's gonna feel good and be a good thing in my body. All right, so I'm gonna get to it. I have a few quick things. First off, I wanna talk about kneeling. What happens in a class if your instructor takes you to a kneeling exercise of some sort? I'm just going to use maybe a little cat-cow kind of movement or something like that. And it doesn't feel good for you to be on your knees. What do you do? So options, if this is you, would be, first of all, if you were in the studio, I might say, is it because of the surface you're on? Could we put a blanket underneath your knees? Could we put some little squishy pads under your knees? Could that be enough to make it comfortable and not be painful on your knees to be there? So that would be the first thing that I would try. And you could try it, and if it works, fabulous. Then that's all you need to know when you're taking classes. Make sure you have some pads or your blankets or something that you can kneel on. That might be enough. Now, if you're tried the pads, did the thing, it doesn't feel good, it's uncomfortable, listen to that. And then what you'll do is stand up. Almost any exercise done on your knees could be done standing up. And again, that is as simple as that cat-cow exercise I was just showing. Maybe you stand up and put your hands on your knees and you move your back in the same way that the participants are doing, right? A little round and arch, but you're in a standing position, right? Or maybe you're doing a side bend, everybody else is on their knees, and you come up and you do a standing version. Right? Don't be afraid to come up and try kind of your version. Try a standing version of that exercise if kneeling doesn't feel good to you. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is alignment. Hip, knee, foot alignment. If you have stuff going on in your knees, paying attention to your alignment is so important. Because the more we can strengthen our muscles in alignment, it helps keep our joints kind of in line, and we're less likely to have pain. So I don't care what exercise you're doing and what class you're taking, the more you can pay attention to your alignment, the better it's going to be. So I'm going to use just a few examples. So let's say we're doing a shoulder bridge. Right? So if my legs are bent and I'm laying back, I want to just make sure that my knees are right over, kind of centered over my feet. So versus maybe doing something like this, or my knees are splaying out to the side, or maybe something like this. I just always want to make sure that I have good knee alignment, knees lined up with my feet and ankles. Especially important if you're standing. Right? If you're doing standing work, check in. If you're in hip width apart, try to make sure those knees are really lined up in the center of your foot, and not like maybe you're somebody who likes to be in that turnout and then that knee's like rotating out. Yeah, check in with your alignment, right? That's your job. All right, and then my last tip is range of motion. So again, it really doesn't matter what exercise you're doing. If you're doing standing, like some squats type action or lunges type action, it could be like you're laying on a mat and you're doing some straighten and bend, that kind of thing. You may not have the range of motion that the instructor is showing, and that's okay. The best thing you can do is take the range that feels okay in your body. So I'm just going to use a squat because it's such a common thing in any like version of it. So, you know, when you're doing a squat, if it's fine, like get that good alignment. Maybe you just go down like 1 inch and come back up. You keep your core tight. You do all the things your instructor is telling you to do. That's fine. If your instructor's doing this, it's totally fine for you to take that little range of motion. And not just fine, it's good, right? It's good to get like, for you to feel like, okay, what's my safe range? How can I still move in my knee joint without hurting it, but still get that strength work as I'm moving? All right, so those are my 3 tips. Know what to do with kneeling. Know, have a pad, have whatever you need, or don't kneel. Come up and stand instead. Watch your alignment, right? No matter what the exercise is, make sure your knee and feet are in good alignment. That's your check-in that you kind of have to do yourself when you're taking a virtual class. And then range of motion. Don't try to force range of motion. Don't try to keep up with the instructor necessarily. You're going to do things at your level. Little is great, right? Ease into it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed these little tips. I hope that you're continuing to move your body as much as you can because it keeps us healthy and strong. It's great for our mind as well.